Okay, so picture this, right? You log back into your favorite game. It's been years, maybe even like a decade. And that digital treasure chest you've been meticulously filling, poof,
Mm.
gone, empty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's the harsh reality that hit thousands of World of Warcraft players in what's become known as, get this, the Great Blizzard Bank Heist.
I've heard about this. Crazy.
Totally. And today we are diving deep, deep, deep into the how, the why, and the massive fallout that's really shaken a lot of trust in, well, the gaming world.
Makes sense.
And listen, if you've ever, ever poured your heart and soul into an online game, building up your characters, your gear, this story, well, it's going to resonate big time.
Yeah, it goes way beyond just losing, some virtual items. It really gets to the heart of how players and those big game companies, how they interact, how much trust is there. It's a big deal.
It's huge. So guild banks in World of Warcraft, think of it like this. For those who haven't spent countless hours in Azeroth, these banks are shared storage.
Hmm.
For guilds, groups of players. They stash everything there, from epic weapons to rare crafting materials.
It's like their digital museum, years of playing, all those memories, all that loot. Some of that stuff, you can't even get it in the game anymore. We're talking original World of Warcraft, like 2004 vanilla WoW stuff, gone.
Poof.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not just, oh, this item's super rare, right? We're talking about sentimental stuff. Think letters from friends who don't play anymore. Or, and this is tough, mementos from players who have passed away. Having all that just wiped.
Yeah.
That's a gut punch.
Absolutely. I can't imagine. So you can see why there was this massive, shockwave. Blizzard, they introduced this cross-realm guild bank thing in their August 2024 patch.
Hold on. Cross-realm, meaning players from different servers can now share one bank.
Exactly.
Okay, so that sounds like a recipe for disaster, maybe.
Well, yeah, it seems that way. Because almost as soon as this patch hits, boom. Thousands of guilds, different servers, reporting empty banks. And we're not talking a few gold coins here and there. We're talking years of grinding, rare materials, stuff you just can't replace, just gone.
And to add insult to injury, Blizzard,
Yeah.
they initially meet this outcry with crickets. Nothing. For a whole month, players are freaking out, trying to get answers, and silence.
And that's a huge part of why this blew up like it did. Think about it. You've poured hours, maybe even real money, into this world. You trust this company to, I don't know, keep your stuff safe, right? Your progress, everything. And then, bam, it's all gone in the company. They're just quiet.
Breaks that trust.
All right.
Big time.
Totally.
It's not just, oh, I lost some items. It's like, you betrayed me. Like, pull the rug out, makes you think, about all our digital stuff.
Yeah.
How safe is any of it, really? But we'll get to that.
Right.
So finally, after a month of this, the pressure's building, everyone's frustrated. Blizzard makes a statement.
About time.
Right, so what's the deal? Massive server failure. Rogue employee. Are they going to make this right? Restore everything.
Well, they did say, yeah, there was data loss. Blamed it on how some of the data was lost during this whole cross-realm thing they did. Offered what they called an incomplete restoration for some guilds.
Incomplete. Not exactly inspiring confidence. So what about those who didn't even get that? What did they say to them? Any hope of getting their stuff back?
Well, this is where it gets even worse. Blizzard basically said, nope, no way to restore those items, data's gone. But a lot of players, they weren't buying it.
Yeah, come on, a company like Blizzard, they have backups, right? And we talked about those guild bank logs, tracking
Yeah.
every transaction. So theoretically, they should be able to see what's missing and, I don't know, put it back.
Exactly.
So why haven't they? What's the excuse?
Good question. And Blizzard, not really talking. Actually, they shut down a bunch of forum discussions about this, pushing people to these general areas where it's just noise.
Almost feels like they're hoping that it'll just go away if they ignore it long enough.
Right. But with this many players affected and everyone's so angry, I don't see that happening.
No way. They've got a PR nightmare on their hands. But beyond the whole PR mess, what does this mean for online gaming in general? That's the big question.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into all that. Stay tuned as we dig deeper into how the community reacted, the tech behind this data loss, and what it all means for the future of, well, spending our lives online.
You know what's kind of cool? The players, they didn't just sit back and take this. It's like they all turned into internet detectives.
Yeah, the WowW community. They don't mess around.
Yeah.
I've seen screenshots of those bank logs, lists of missing stuff, even stories about what those items meant to them. It's powerful, Shows how much this really hit them.
And they didn't just complain. They dug in. Researching, comparing notes, calling Blizzard out on, well, everything.
So they don't believe that data loss story.
Not really, no. And think about it. Those guild bank logs. They're there for a reason. They track every single thing that goes in or out. Blizzard should, like, theoretically be able to rewind, see exactly what's missing.
Okay, yeah. So if they've got those logs, and they could, like you said, theoretically fix this, why haven't they? What's the holdup?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And Blizzard's been, well, super quiet on the details, closed down forum threads about it, pushing players to these general discussions where it all gets lost.
Ah, the old sweep it under the rug tactic.
Right, like it'll all just blow over. But I don't think so. Not with this much anger, this many people affected.
No way. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot, PR-wise.
Yeah.
But, okay, bigger picture. What does this all mean for online gaming? What's the takeaway here?
It makes you think, you know,
Yeah.
about how game companies treat their players. Back in the day, online games, it was all fun and games, literally. But now, these worlds are huge, complicated. People invest so much time, energy, money. It's different.
It's not just a few hours wasted anymore. It's years of work, items that are actually worth something, memories.
And this whole thing shows how, I don't know, fragile it all is.
Yes.
Players are trusting these companies with, like, a part of their lives. When that trust breaks, it's rough.
So can players even do anything? Or are they just stuck?
Well, they can definitely make some noise. Keep talking about this, demanding answers, making sure Blizzard's held accountable.
Right, keep the spotlight on it. Don't let it disappear.
Exactly. When enough people speak up, things happen, companies listen. Maybe this will even be a wake-up call for other game devs to make sure their security's tight.
Hopefully. But what about individual players? What can they do to protect themselves?
The basics are huge. Two-factor authentication for anything online, but especially games. Strong passwords, different for each account.
Yeah.
Watch out for those phishing scams, those dodgy links.
Good reminders. Easy to forget about all that when you're just trying to have fun. But this whole thing, yeah, it's a reminder that nothing's really 100% safe. But it shouldn't just be on players to protect themselves.
Right.
Game companies got to step up, take responsibility for these worlds they create, the communities they build.
Definitely. And that brings us back to the big question. What now? What's the future of online gaming? As we, put more of ourselves into these worlds. What should we expect? What are our rights?
Yeah, good questions. And we're going to get into all that in the next part. Stick with us. We're going even deeper into the legal stuff, the ethical stuff, what this all means for gaming going forward.
Yeah.
It's scary to think about, but this whole Blizzard thing, it's not like it's totally unique, right? There have been other cases, maybe not this big, but where stuff in games just vanishes or accounts get hacked.
Yeah, for sure. Data breaches, security issues, happens. But this time, it wasn't some outside hacker, right? It seems like it was Blizzard themselves messing with their own systems. That's what's so unsettling.
Right, exactly. Makes you wonder, how much can we trust these companies, even the big ones, to keep our stuff safe? If Blizzard messed this up, what about smaller companies with, less money, less experience?
It's a valid question. The more we invest in these digital worlds, the more we need to really scrutinize the companies behind them.
So what can players do? Are we just at their mercy? Do we have any control over this?
Well, first off, don't let them get away with it. Keep talking about this. Keep the pressure on. Demand answers. Make sure Blizzard knows they can't just sweep this under the rug.
Yeah, use your voice. Social media, forums, whatever. Share your story. Connect with other players. Make sure this doesn't just fade away.
Exactly. People power. Right. That's how things change.
Yeah.
And on a personal level, well, be smart. Two-factor authentication everywhere. Strong passwords, different for each account. Don't fall for those phishing scams. Be careful what you click on.
Yeah, good security hygiene, basically. But, it shouldn't all be on us, right? Game companies, they need to step up, too. They built these worlds. They got to take responsibility.
Absolutely. This whole mess, it raises some really big questions, way beyond just security. What does it even mean to own something digital? What are the responsibilities of these companies? And what about our rights as players?
Yeah, no easy answers there. But we got to start asking those questions. This Blizzard thing, as awful as it was for the players, maybe it can be like a wake-up call for the whole industry.
Right.
A chance to really rethink how we approach online gaming.
For sure. It's like the line between real life and the digital world. It's getting blurrier and blurrier. And when you lose something digital, it can feel just as real as losing something physical.
Absolutely. So for everyone listening, we hope this deep dive was, eye-opening, maybe even a little empowering. You have a voice, you have power. Don't be afraid to use it to demand better from the companies we trust with, a big part of our lives these days.
And that's why conversations like this are so crucial. By talking about these issues, shining a light on them, that's how we push for change. We can make these digital worlds safer, more trustworthy, places where we can invest ourselves without, that constant fear of losing everything.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Great Blizzard Bank heist. It's a story that's, well, still going on and will definitely keep you updated. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and keep fighting for your digital rights.